All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into multiplying and dividing rational expressions now. It's going to be super exciting. Now, these are just fractions. They're not rational because there's no variable, but this is how you multiply two fractions right here. And this is how you divide two fractions right here. Now, I'm going to do this first just straight out. So 8 times 7 is 56. 12 times 21 is 252. Now, the problem with this is not simplified, so let's start by dividing them both by 2. So 56 divided by 2 is 28. 252 divided by 2 is 126. And because I'm kind of a math nerd, I know that those are both divisible by 7. So 28 divided by 7 is 4. 126 divided by 7 is going to be 18. And now they're also both divisible by 2. So divide by 2, and I arrive at my final solution, my simplified fraction, 2/9. Now, that was a lot of work, and that's one way we could have done it. Now, another way we could have done that is looking back here and saying, oh, well, those two are both divisible by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. These are both divisible by 7. So then that turns into a 1, and this turns into a 3. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, you're going to have to know both ways going forward so that it's easy for you to simplify these expressions. Now, over here with division, the 3/4 is going to stay the exact same. The change occurs when you divide. When you divide, you have to take this fraction and flip it, and then you multiply. So the second fraction, the second expression, you flip it, and then you multiply. So now, instead of 3/4 divided by 5/12, it's 3/4 times 12/5. That's the first step. Just so you are aware, if I did 2 divided by 1/2, that's 2 times 2/1, which is 4. In your calculator, if you want to do 4 divided by 0.5, 2 divided by 0.5, just like this, this was 0.5 and 1/2 are the same. 2 divided by 0.5 will be 4. Trust me, or trust your calculator, either way. Anyway, back to this problem. I'm going to change my color now. 3 times 12 is 36. 4 times 5 is 20. They're both divisible by 4. Just divide by 4, divide by 4. I get 9/5. Now, there's also something that you can do called, it's not cross simplification. I guess it kind of is. But in this example, I could have also, let me go to green, these don't simplify and those don't simplify. But the 4 and the 12 are both divisible by 4. If I divide each of those by 4, that turns into a 1, and this turns into a 3. So then 3 times 3 is 9, and then 1 times 5 is 5. So you can, as long as one's on top and one's on bottom, simplify in that regard. Okay. So let's get into the examples now. Hopefully that was all right. I'm going to go ahead and just multiply these straight across. I get 24x squared, and that's all over 50, but they're both divisible by 2. So when you divide them both by 2 on top and on bottom, we end up with 12x squared all over 25. That's all you can do with it. Done. Now, on the next one, here I'm going to go ahead and, why not? I'll just go ahead and simplify first. That's a good idea. This 9 and this 9 go away. Now I'm going to leave everything else because I got to explain the variables. I have 3n, n, n. Because I have 3 of them. Now, over here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 6, and then 4 n's going along with it. So I'm going to deal with the n's first. Every n that I can match up a top and a bottom go away. Now, I would be left with 3 over 6n. The only problem is they're both divisible by 3. So if I divide the top and bottom both by 3, I end up with 1 over 2n. Now, had I done this a different way, you still get the same answer. Let me change the color as well. So let's say I just multiplied it out. This would be 27 n to the third all over, it's 54 n to the fourth, because 2 n's and 2 n's, 2 plus 2 is 4. So then I say, okay, the numbers, they're both divisible by, well, 27. So this would be n to the third over 2n to the fourth, and 3 minus 4 is negative 1, so this would be 1 over 2n, otherwise known as 3 of them go away, be left with 1 here. And that's how we get that. So that's 2 examples down. Now, on number 3, I would take these 10s out first because they're there. Why not? And then I'd do 4 on top because that's it. And I have 9, and x to the first times x to the third is x to the fourth. That's it. Nothing else simplifies. Now, on number 4, these 6's, they're both on the bottom. They don't simplify. So one thing you could do is just multiply it out. So 9 times 4x to the third is going to be 36x to the third. And then 6 times 6 on the bottom is going to be 36. And that makes it look nice because those both go away. So my final answer is just x to the third. Now I'm going to skip those and let you do those and see how you do. Now with division. With division, I'm going to start by flipping it first. So 8p over 2p. And I'm going to multiply that by 4 over 2. So I took this fraction and I flipped it. And now is multiplication. It's like an eyeball. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and do this old school. So 8p times 4 is 32p. 2p times 2 is 4p. And I can get rid of the p's. 32 divided by 4 is 8, which we could have realized back here if we wanted to. We could have just gone ahead and started simplifying. So if I simplified, the p's go away first. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So we get 8 the same way. So here you could have several different things down for your work and still get the same correct answer. Now, starting number 8, I start by flipping first. I'm not simplifying anything yet. You always start by flipping. So the 6k squared goes up top, the 8k goes on bottom. Then I'm just going to go ahead and multiply this out. So I get 12k squared over 64k to the third. So then I'm going to start by dividing each of those by 4, top and bottom by 4. Top and bottom by 4, we get 3k squared all over 16k squared. So the numbers, the coefficients are simplified. Now I have k squared and then k to the third. I'm sorry. So that means those two go away. That becomes k to the first. So my final solution here is 3 over 16k. And that's it for that one. I can do 2 more for you. Are these numbers big on? Yeah, how about I do these 2? Why not? So, flipping it first. 5v over 3 times 7v over 4v squared. And I'm just going to kick it old school here. Multiply it out. 35v squared over 12v squared. So the first thing I notice is that the v squareds go away. And so I have 35 over 12. Now 35 is the same thing as 5 times 7. 12 is the same thing as 4 times 3 or 6 times 2. And they don't have anything in common. So that is it. You're done with that one. And last but not least, I have 3x over 2x to the third, and I multiply that by 3x squared over 9x. So, multiply it out. I get 9x to the third all over 18x to the fourth. Now I'm going to deal with the variables first. Why not? Those 3 go away. I'd be left with 1 down here. So there's going to be an x down there. And then 9 and 18 are both divisible by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 18 divided by 9 is 2. So 1 over 2x is your answer. And that concludes this video. Please finish the rest of this worksheet on your own.